minutes. Are we there yet?
This beach, it's beautiful.
My swimsuit is hurting.
They do look small.
Come on, let's play hide and seek.
Have you seen my children?
Mom, I'm right here.
He was 6 years old this morning.
Oh no.
Mom, I'm scared. There's something wrong with this beach.
We were chosen for a reason.
What's happening?
I don't know. I can't think. Old. Only in theaters this summer.
Thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for doing this.
My pleasure. And so you dropped after teasing the trailer a little bit, or teasing the teaser, I should say, last week. The teaser dropped during the Super Bowl. I've got about 100 jokes I could make about Tom Brady and the name of your film. I'm not going to make any of them. Before we get into, I mean, the film is called Old. It is out this summer. Before we get into the film and the teaser itself, what's it like? I know this isn't your first sort of dance at the Super Bowl, but is it more sort of exciting or nerve-wracking to have a teaser drop and be watched by so many people at the same time?
It's funny you should say that, and I don't know. You'd have to analyze why, but I was nervous. I don't know why. Maybe it was this pandemic year, or that I knew we had the first spot. You know, we had, and then I don't even know the politics of that. I think CBS has to choose the spot, who gets in the first spot. So I knew we were the first commercial right after kickoff, but then when the first commercial break, and so I was anxious as the game was starting, as if I was playing or something.
And then, you know, I appreciate you don't want to give too much or possibly anything away beyond what people have seen in the teaser, but could you tease the film a little bit?
Well, it's based on this graphic novel that I was given from my daughters. I think this was like 4 Father's Days ago, or and so and I read it, and the premise was so powerful of these people that went to this beach and their experience that happens on that day in the beach. Profound, you know, our relationship to time, and I thought it was very frightening and emotional, and the ideas just started coming, and I tracked down the owner and the person that wrote it, and it was just I think a beautiful thing, and kind of touching that it came from my daughters, when it's about this story about, you know, getting older very, very quick.
I just call that looking in the mirror in the morning, but I'm pleased that you've made a whole film about it. No, it does. I mean, some of the comments I've been reading online, you know, people have been saying this looks scary as hell. Is it? I know it's described as a thriller, but does it have, like? I mean, it's funny. A friend of mine was saying, you know, we were talking about your movies and how you tend to describe them as thrillers, but they do have elements of horror and comedy and all sorts. But would you describe this as a horror movie as well as a thriller?
You know, it's funny when people say that I make, your movies are too scary. I always find that so odd, but they're definitely meant to have this very kind of adrenaline rush quality about them. I guess that mixture of the elements that you described, the thriller, the comedy, the drama of it, the emotionality, all of those are equally important. And it definitely reaches points of where you're covering your eyes for a few moments because it's very, very threatening. I try to think of my movies more in that kind of, I guess thriller is the best way I would describe them, but they have elements. And I have this theory also when you're making movies that you can move through genres, but you can only move in one direction through genres. You can only move to higher and higher octane genres during the making of the movie. So you can go from drama to thriller, thriller to supernatural, supernatural to horror, but you can't tack back down again because the stakes are rising with each one.
And could you talk a little bit about you got this great cast. Could you talk a little bit about them?
Yeah, you know, it was a little bit of a magical cast, and it's the reason that I made the movie when I made it. We started auditioning during the pandemic. In fact, we were actually, I believe, literally the first movie or TV show in the world that started auditioning during the pandemic. And because of it, everyone auditioned for the film, and we had thousands and thousands of people auditioning, and so I kind of got a chance to make a cast that was very international, from all over the world, and that's something special about it. That the leads are, they don't have American accents, and that's actually part of the story a bit. That there's a collection of people, and they're all very different. They meet on this beach, and it's been a very special alchemy of actors. And on my movies, it's very family oriented. We're very close. Everybody's very close. There's no yelling and screaming. There isn't chaos. It's all very play-like. We rehearse and we talk about everything, and it's very planned out. All the shots are planned out. I showed them all the boards, and if we were shooting a movie right now, this would be full of all the storyboards. Like everything would be here. I'd walk everybody through it, and so we did that, and we did this in the Dominican Republic, and so everyone stayed together in the same hotel, and we rehearsed all together. Everyone was constantly in my bungalow, and we were rehearsing, and we went to this beach, and we shot there every day. It was very much the feeling of being confined together, and it had a very play-like quality because of it. Very close to the whole cast, and they did something magical. In fact, it was so precarious to make the film at that time, and I decided to do it because that cast, I didn't want to lose anyone. I didn't want to lose one person, so I decided to go for it. It was very risky to shoot it at that moment because it was hurricane season in the Caribbean. In fact, our sets got destroyed by a hurricane, and we built them up again, and we were very lucky that second time they stayed up.
And what was it like shooting with COVID protocols?
This particular movie was kind of custom fit for the situation. It took place in 2 locations, and we took out everything. We took out the whole hotel. Everyone stayed with us. We created a true bubble, and because no one was home, everyone was away. They weren't tempted to go visit their sister or go to the birthday party, or they weren't having these pulls. Everyone was together, and so we created a true bubble. We didn't, for 2.5 months, we really didn't meet anybody that wasn't tested and inside our bubble, and luckily everyone really honored that, and we had zero cases of positive for the entire time we were there, and everyone got home safe and sound, and we were all very lucky to be working during that time.
And what was it like not shooting in Philadelphia? I thought you just weren't legally allowed to live in Philadelphia.
It was the first thing that occurred to me when I was considering doing it. When the graphic novel, I talked to the family and I said, you know what? I think in 2 years I'm going to shoot a movie that's not going to be done in Philadelphia, and I think it might be kind of a way kind of to just kind of try something new and create a new feeling. And for me, I want every movie to have its own flavor. And what was really exciting when I saw the Super Bowl spot, and I watched it in the context of the football game and everybody watching it, how unusual it was and how it stood out. And that's what I want for the movies. I want to go to the movies and see new stories and new languages, and I think it's exciting for people. And I love that they're all chattering about what kind of style it is. I like that.
No, people. I mean, what did you think of the reactions? Because people went, pretty crazy after the trailer dropped.
Yeah, it was funny. And the last time I had a Super Bowl spot was Signs, so it was pre, all this stuff, all Twitter and Facebook and all of that. And so it went on, and then immediately the phone went brrr, and like everybody was reacting to it. And you don't realize that, the Super Bowl is seen by almost everyone, and especially at the beginning of the game like that. It's not everyone's just walking in and seeing how it's kind of the spectacle of it all. It was really, I felt very lucky. I immediately emailed Universal and just said, I just thank you for doing that. We're a small movie and very an original movie, in its tone and the story, and it's so I feel so supported, and especially in this year as well with the movie theaters and all, to kind of put us front and center and say storytelling is really important to them, and to support us like that, and then to say only in theaters and we'll see you there. It's just a exciting and hopeful thing, and I definitely felt so grateful. Even now I feel like I don't know how to thank them other than going up into that editing room, which is up there, by the way, up there, and finishing the movie and making sure it's great.
There were a couple of, I don't want to grill you too much about theories that popped up after the trailer, but I do want to mention just a couple. One of which was someone said, I bet it's tied into the elderly couple from The Visit. Would you care to comment on that?
You know, there's been so many times that when I'm writing, I'm like, oh, I could tie in one of my other movies here. And then I always decide against it because I don't want it to feel like a connected universe. If that wasn't the intended approach as when I was writing it. It's funny. I even thought in Glass, because they're in a mental institution, and in Glass, I had a thought of referencing the old couple from The Visit in that movie as well, and decided against it. But no, it's not related to The Visit.
The other thing, and you do, enjoy appearing in your own movies. I read online, someone said, I bet one of the kids in the film grows up to be M. Night Shyamalan. Any thoughts about that?
Well, I don't know what, I think they were just making a joke when they said that, but what's really funny is, I have this curly dark hair, and there's so many people in the movie that have that, including the little kid, as you see in the trailer. So my daughter, who was there, was like, I've never seen so many people that have your hairstyle on the set. And so maybe that's what they're responding to.
I'm going to take that as a no comment for now. M. Night,
that was me dancing around it.
The teaser looks great. The film is old. It is out July 23rd, right?
That's correct, yeah.
That is correct. Well, M. Night, thank you so much for jumping on and talking to us. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties at the start. I myself am an old man, and I couldn't really, my arthritic hands could not really work the keys quickly enough. But thank you so much. I'm very excited to see this film, and thank you so much for taking the time with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was very exciting, and don't worry about all of that. And you're very young. Come on, man. You're super young.
If you say I'm young, then I'm young. You're the expert.
Thank you again for having me. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.